Okay, apparently I'm live. So hello and welcome to the first ever online signal. I'm Adam Lenson. I'm a director and a producer and musicals guy, I suppose. And here we are. Just to give you a little bit of context, we were meant to be having a signal live Theatre Royal and Derngate in Northampton as part of Beam Festival, which is a massive showcase for new musical theatre. But things have been getting cancelled a fair bit lately. So we kind of wanted to keep the date. And that's what we're doing. So yeah, welcome. It's 2020. What a 2020. The technology at points today has felt a little bit like being in 2004. It reminded me of being a teenager when I was trying to frantically change network settings so I can play video games with my friends. But yeah, we wanted to keep the date, and thank you so much for joining us. It's been an incredibly moving day, and hopefully it will be a really lovely evening and a way for the musical theatre community in this country, but also, as I'll tell you in a bit, the world to kind of come together. Just a few heads up. No one's ever done this before. We're literally bringing people from 15 different rooms all over the world together. And that is crazy complicated. We're also trying to optimize the sound so music sounds good. And the way that we're doing that is by routing the sound separately to the video, which is complicated, but hopefully means that it sounds really good. What that might mean is that the sync drops out every so often, the relationship between video and sound. If that happens, listen to the sound and hopefully appreciate that we've done a good job on that. And, you know, most things drop out of sync anyway in this era. Is there anything else I need to say up top? I know. So yeah, there's a virus, and I sincerely hope that you're all okay, and I really thank you all for joining us. One of the strange things that has happened because of this is that everyone seems the same distance away to an extent, because you can't get to your next door neighbour's house. So we've all kind of very quickly entered this world of Zoom and Skype and YouTube and ways of communicating with one another. And suddenly occurred to me that people who are on the other side of the world are just as near us now as the people who are next door. And what a great opportunity it would be to bring together all of my favorite musical theatre people from around the world. Not all of them, many of them. There are some kept in wait for future online signals, but we've got writers from New York and Canada, as well as from London, from Scotland, from Nottingham, from Wales. We've you know, this is a global signal, and we're really proud of what we've achieved today. Up top, I just want to send a huge round of applause virtually to the incredible Bartek Podkova. Those of you who've been to Signal will know that he is the videographer who creates all of the many videos that exist online for you to enjoy. But in these strange times, he has taken on the role of tech guru to bring today together in the way that we're going to bring it together. He's a genius. He's doing his best. There might be flaws, but bloody hell, it's a new world. So anyway, thank you. I'm going to stop waffling for now. You'll see me again, but I'm going to introduce our first song. For those of you who've been to previous signals, you will have seen this next incredible pair. They are developing a new musical about the internet, and those who run it, those who live in it, and you. It's called Public Domain, and it's been strange because we know that we can keep developing this show in this current moment because it sort of gains relevance in this strange time, and it made sense to me that they would kick us off tonight with a song from the internet on the internet. So I don't know how this transition will work, but please bear with us as I introduce you to, live from her apartment, Francesca Forristal, to tell you all about it. Okay, apparently I'm back on because Francesca, something technical. 15 different locations. It's bound to happen. So I guess I don't know. Should I'm just going to wait for my WhatsApps to tell me who I should cue next. Because live theatre and stuff. Yeah. I hope you're having a nice time. I mean, something's happening. I can see so many faces of so many incredible people in a Skype chat. I guess I can just tell you a little bit about what the hell's going on here. So we've got a Skype chat, and then we've got this audio app called Clean Feed, and Bartek is syncing them both and then routing that to YouTube. So yeah, So I think I'm still on. Oh my God. Okay, well.
Would you like me to keep talking, Bartek? Can't hear you. Oh, I'm on. Hello, everybody. Okay, talking about the musical again. Right, so this is a song from our new show, Public Domain, which is entirely made. What? My camera's off again. Why? I don't understand. Okay, well, I'm going to keep telling you about the song anyway. So this is a song based completely written from words from YouTubers, from interviews that we found online. And this song that you're about to see is from a YouTuber called Georgie Stevenson, who we fell in love with a bit when we were looking at her. Sorry, I'm also checking the feed. This is quite fun. Bartek, if you can confirm that you can see me at any point during when I'm speaking about the show, then that would be great. But for now, I'm going to keep on talking to you about the show. So it's entirely about the internet, those that use it, those that are in it, and those whose lives depend on it. And Georgie Stevenson is a YouTuber whose life does depend on it. So we thought, not let you fall in love with her like we did. We took her words. Jordan Clarke, who is a musical legend, put her words to music with me kind of curating stuff. We worked together in a kind of symbiotic, artistic ball of fun. And yeah, we wanted to share with you now. So can I get a thumbs up from Bartek that I'm good to go? And once I have a thumbs up, I'm going to take a little sip of water and then we'll get started. Bartek, all good? Amazing. In that case, folks, this is the greatest job thing ever, verbatim from us, Forristal and Clarke, to you. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now I thought I would do a little bit of a different video for you today, but it is one that I've done a lot about in my DMs, and it's basically all about how to be an influencer. So personally, I think being an influencer is like the greatest job thing ever. The greatest job thing ever. So I wanted to know, you guys, if you want to do it like I want you to do it, because yeah, it's just giving me so much joy. And it is my favourite thing to do, to produce content and talk to you guys, to produce content and talk to you guys, to produce content and talk to you guys. You guys are my friends. Tip number one is to just start. Honestly guys, just do it. Don't be scared about what people say. And if you really feel it in your soul, like I literally couldn't sleep at night sometimes until I started it. So like, just start it, just do it. The second point is to find your niche, be very clear on why people should follow you. There needs to be a reason why people follow you. There needs to be a reason why people follow you. So personally, me, it's health and fitness. I definitely put in a bit of fashion, a bit of lifestyle. I try and do a workout and recipes like every single week. And now the third point, and this is my favourite point, because I feel like so many people miss this point. Add value. I know it's hard because there are some Instagrams where the person just looks extremely pretty and they put an emoji as a caption and you don't get any value from there. I follow people who give me value. Personally, I wake up, I go on my phone. It's kind of like reading the newspaper. But I love learning new things. I love being informed. So don't just put an emoji. Because God knows the days where you can just put an emoji. Like, do you want to be someone who, just puts an emoji? Or do you want to be someone who impacts someone's life? I think being an influencer, it is like the greatest job thing ever. The greatest job thing ever. Okay, the fourth point, guys, is to be vulnerable. If you do want to be bigger on Instagram and you want people to be invested in your life and you really want to be you, then you need to share your personal life and you have to be vulnerable. It's not nice to show your bad sides and be vulnerable and share your weaknesses. But this is what is going to gain connection with your audience. Yeah, this is what is going to gain connection with your audience. I personally only follow people that I have a connection to. So this is what is going to gain connection with your audience. For example, me, I show you guys everything. I show you when I'm feeling down, when I've got trouble with my hormones and I'm feeling really crappy. Share your life. Share your life. Okay, so the last and final tip is to be yourself. Be real. Be authentic. I need to follow someone who is true. Follow them and be invested in their lives. I honestly feel like you guys are my friends. So there's no point not being authentic. Make sure you stay true and authentic, and you will find your people. Make sure you stay true and authentic, because I guarantee you'll find your tribe. Be sure you stay true and authentic, and you will find your people who love you for you. You guys are my friends. You guys are my friends. You guys are my, you guys are my, you guys are my, you guys are my. Personally, I think being an influencer, it is the greatest job thing ever. Ever. So I wanted to know, you guys, if you want to do it like I want you to do it, because it's just giving me so much joy. And it is my favourite thing to do, to produce content and talk to you guys. To produce content and talk to you guys. To produce content and talk to you guys. You guys are my friends. Okay, so that's all for me tonight, guys. Hope you enjoyed it this morning or this evening, whenever you're here. And I want you to know that I am back on schedule next week, posting twice a week. Bye for now. I don't know what to finish it.
Doing. That was really cool. And the sound is good. Thanks for bearing with us. As you can see, absolutely live. We went through many different versions of this. Maybe we play videos. Maybe we would do a Facebook Live where we made it, but that just didn't seem right. So again, I hope you'll bear with us for this. So basically, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to, in England right now, probably the UK and Ireland as well, at 8 p.m., which is coming up in 2 minutes, people are giving a round of applause to the NHS for everything that they're doing. So I'm just going to vamp for a couple of minutes in order to make sure that when we get to 8 o'clock, that everybody in England can applaud. But before that, I'm just going to cue you up on the next act. So at the end of last year, I was lucky enough to go with a company called Sheep Soup, who are performing later tonight. So you'll hear more about them, and they've performed at Signals Past. Were invited to go to Sheridan College to develop the show as a part of a 5-week residency at CMTP, the Canadian Music Theatre Project. And while we were there were 2 other shows being workshopped with us, and one of them was an amazing new musical, which there's a song from it which to this day I will never get out of my head. It's so beautiful. Anyway, I was amazed, glad to meet this next pair there. And again, we're global now, so we can ask anyone that we want to take part. So I dropped them a line and said, would they like to sing a new song? And they delivered. So this pair are going to be singing a new song from their show Grow. And one of the crappy things about this stupid virus is that they were due to go into rehearsals a couple of weeks ago in a major regional production in Canada. But they have been delayed. But it's going to happen. And when it does happen, you should all watch out. Anyway, I'll introduce you to them in just a second. But in just, there's a 15-second syncing delay on this before it gets to YouTube. But when my clock hits 8 o'clock, let's do a minute-long round of applause. And at 8:01, I will carry back on again. So thank you to our global friends for joining us in this. It's an important way for us all to say thank you for the doctors, nurses, and medical support staff who are doing so much to make this a little bit more bearable for everybody. So it is... Wait, my watch is set to a satellite 5 for, 15 seconds in the past now. So hopefully you're applauding. Now, if everyone, a round of applause now for Britain's amazing NHS. I'm in a room on my own, so it's really surreal. It's weird clapping on your own, but hopefully other people are clapping in their rooms at this moment. They are. Big up. Just while this is happening, I was originally training to be a doctor. And I'm feeling a little regretful about not choosing that way of life now. Because, it would be intensely meaningful to be doing something at this moment. But I guess we are, which is with this musical theatre. Okay, so... That's another 5 seconds, and then thank you. Sorry if it's felt like I've been trivializing this at all. It's a strange thing already to be doing a live feed, but great respect to our NHS. Okay, here we go. On to our next act. I've already queued them up to tell you about their song from the amazing Grow. I would love to introduce Colleen, Dauncey, and Akiva Romer-Segal.
On now. Someone let me know. Waiting. Just wait here. Awkwardly. Oh, I'm on. Oh, God. Okay. Hi, everyone. So, yeah, as Adam explained, we have a show called Grow. And I'll just tell you a little bit about it so that you understand where this song's coming from that I'm going to do today. But I thought I would do a new song, one that I not used to performing, and I just whipped up a little track here today because we're all so isolated, and I wanted to feel like there were some people singing harmony with me, so I just sang harmony with myself and stuck it on a track. So we'll see how that goes. But here's a little note from my co-writer, Akiva Romer-Segal. He writes lyrics and I write music. And then our book writer's name is Matt Murray. So hey guys. And here is what Akiva says about this song you're gonna hear, which is called, this song's called New Sensation. Okay, he says, Amish twins, so the show's about Amish twins who go to the big city. Amish twins Ruth and Hannah have left their sheltered community for the first time and ended up in Parkdale, one of the rougher parts of Toronto. The song you're about to hear is from the end of Act 1, when Ruth, a gifted gardener, ends up growing a super strain of weed that changes everything. It brings relief to the locals, launches Ruth to stardom, and attracts unwanted attention from the owner of a nearby corporate dispensary. Normally, it's a big group number, and it's a big long sequence that takes us through a lot of a big party that they're having. But I just took out all the dialogue and squished it all into one thing, as us composers are wont to do when we have to perform our own stuff. I'm just gonna play this track for one hot second to make sure you guys can hear it, and then maybe someone will let me know on this thing, because otherwise it'd be really sad. Do you hear that? Do you hear that sweet drum? Anyone? Yes! Okay, here we go. Here we go. This song's called New Sensation. And here's a fun fact. It's one of the newest songs in the show, and it replaced a different song that we had before that wasn't working for us, but that song was called Sensation, and this one's called New Sensation, which gives me endless joy. All right, here we go. One hit is all it really takes to rid you of the tension. You just need a little more to send you to a new dimension. You can find paradise. Now doesn't that sound nice? There's only one way to know. 'Cause I got what you're looking for. Goodbye to your frustration. 'Cause I hold the ticket to a sweet salvation. Oh, a taste of euphoria beyond imagination. So I hope you're ready for a new sensation. Whoa, 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 whoa. One puff can wash away the pain and get me feeling younger. It calms the voices in my brain, and nothing else will fill this hunger. I let it set me free to feel the ecstasy. There's only one thing I need. It's all that we were hoping for, this wonderful creation. It came out of nowhere like a revelation. Oh, like nothing I have felt before, exceeds my expectation. 'Cause I wasn't ready for a new sensation. Taking the world in a whole new way, forsaking the rules that I used to play by. Can't explain why I wanna stay high. Never knew life could taste the sweet. We meet and the world seems so complete. I'm done with being scared, so I won't retreat. Heart skips a beat. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh, have you been waiting for? Join in the celebration, 'cause you're undeniably an inspiration. Oh, I'm letting all my worries go, picking up a good vibration. I'm lost in the rhythm of a new sensation. Whoa. that. Thanks for having me. That's all I got.
Back. I am back. Great. Thank you so much, Colleen. That was amazing. I have to say, it was great being in Toronto because they have legalized marijuana now. So, yeah, my time in Toronto sometimes felt like that. What a bop. Oh my God, it's cool. It's a global signal. I hadn't really prepared for how this would feel. But it feels really cool. First song was from right here in London. That second song was from Toronto, and it seemed only right that we should explore some geography before we do anything else. So the next song is going to come to us live from Israel. So 4 hours behind for Canada because they're on daylight savings time, GMT for us, and 2 hours ahead in Israel. Actually, just a little bit of housekeeping. If for whatever weird reason this YouTube link breaks at some point and then we're all just like scattered to the wind, I will immediately put a replacement link on thebonfire.uk. So on the homepage in big, I will just put a replacement link. We'll all gather there. I just think it's important just in case this breaks. It shouldn't. The other thing I just would say is if you go to @AdamLenson on Twitter now, I've just uploaded the program, so you can read the program, yeah, you can read the program for tonight. It's the same formatting as it normally is at Signal and the previous 9 live iterations. Okay, so on to our third song and our third bit of geography. Introducing Caitlyn, Burt, and Amir Shoenfeld.
Okay, so I should be live. Can I just get an okay from Bartik that I'm live, that it's all good? Oh my God, we're on. All right. So my name is Amir Shoenfeld, and yes, I am playing live from Israel. I'm currently writing a show called Out of Sight with the book writer and lyricist Caitlyn Burt. And it tells the true story of a German man called Otto Veit, who lived in the late 1930s and was visually impaired. And he owned a factory that made brushes used by the Nazi military in Nazi Germany. But he fell in love with a Jewish sighted woman called Alice, and she started working at his factory and assisting him, and they decided that they were only going to employ partially sighted and visually impaired Jews at the factory, and they saved many lives. True story. And we're writing this show to be particularly accessible to the visually impaired, writing all of the audio descriptors into the narrative so it would create this integrated experience for both sighted and visually impaired audiences. Before this next song comes on, what happens in the show is Alice is told through Otto that the SS have captured her parents and they're going to send them to the death camp Auschwitz. And she's given a choice to come with them to give herself in to the SS, in which case she could go with them to a more lenient work camp. So she feels she has no choice, really, and she goes with her parents, but she despairs that she's not going to see Otto ever again. So Otto sings this song that I'm about to sing called It's You, where he tries to encourage Alice and get her to not lose hope. And halfway through the song, she packs up her bags and she leaves. And Otto is left on his own trying to make sense of his own emotions in the situation. We will get through this. I don't know how, but we'll get through this. So if you say you need to do this, then that's what we'll do. It's wrong and unfair, and God, I wish I could be there. But if anyone has strength to bear it all, it's you. You can't give in yet. It's hard, but Alice, don't give in yet. There has to be a way to win yet. We'll find one, I swear. You're scared, so am I. And God, my heart breaks when you cry. But if anybody could defy their plan, it's you. Look to what is still ahead, our life. Can you see it? Eating breakfast still in bed, my wife. Try and see it. Look to how we'll settle down, move to some romantic town. Look to how our daughter has your smile. I found you in the darkness before. I'll find you in this darkness once more. I didn't choose this, and though I know I can't refuse this, I don't think I can bear to lose this, but what can I do? She's brave, and she's sure, and God, that makes me love her more. And if anyone could face a war for her, it's you.
Okay, so I'm officially crying. One of the benefits of wearing glasses is nobody can see unless you're on a live stream. Well, I'm having a nice evening. I hope you are. It's very surreal doing these bits just because it's so quiet. But it's lovely to see your comments coming up the chat window. Just to say to everybody, feel free to tell us where you are, where you're from, clap, emojis, and the like in the chat window. Really appreciated. So those of you who don't know me, just a brief thing, which is that I was becoming sort of very aware in England, especially that most of the musicals running in the West End have been running for like 30 years. And as beautiful as Les Mis and Phantom of the Opera are, that it seemed bizarre that there wasn't really a new musical theatre culture when it came to new writing and a way of developing work. And it just seemed mad to me. So like a large part of my life for the past sort of informally for the last 5 years and more formally for the last couple of years is to try and create opportunities for artist-driven musical theatre. That's musical theatre that the artists decide what they want to write. No producer comes to them and says, "Oh, what about this for an idea? What about adapt this film?" They decide that it's something that they're burning for. And so this led to the idea of the bonfire, which you'll hear me say a lot online, which is a friend said to me, "Stop knocking on doors and build a bonfire." So that's what this is. And as well as my main website, alpmusicals.com, I've recently set up the bonfire.uk, which we hope to become like a more of a digital space where we can kind of really showcase people's work. The reason I'm telling you about that is because one of the things I've been doing for a while is trying to raise money for writers. I've got a pot of money now, and I'm going to start giving it to writers so that they can write, which seems even more valuable at this time. Tonight's obviously free, but a lot of people put in a shitload of work. So if out there, I understand it's a weird time, but if any of you feel that you can donate in lieu of ticket price or in lieu of travel for tonight, you just have to go to alpmusicals.com patreon.com/donate. There are a bunch of different options for how much you might want to donate, but literally if you could give a $5, they will add up. So just thank you in advance. Thank you to those of you who've already donated. I think we're up to £400 or £500. All of that is literally going to go to writers so that they could just spend full time writing. And my sense is that if a writer is being paid full time to write, then producers and venue managers will look at them and go, well, that person, I should be looking at what they're up to. And they will see the light that has evaded them all these years. Anyway, that bit of housekeeping over. The next writer you're about to meet, I actually met through a bridge between London and New York. Two of the writers for whom I have a great love, Darren, Clarke and Rhys Jennings, despite not quite being able to get everybody to care about their show 3 or 4 years ago, managed to get to the final 8 for the NAMT festival in New York, which is a huge deal. And I always found that funny that it took America to notice how bloody brilliant they were when people here hadn't quite been paying attention yet. Anyway, at the NAMT festival, they met our next writer. They performed. Neither of them could see each other's shows because they were scheduled at the same time. But they became friends, and then this next writer came over to London to do a concert. And of course, if anyone's writing musical theatre, I want to be their friend. So we became friends. We've got to hang out a few times in New York. I was incredibly proud to be able to attend the opening night of his Broadway show, The Lightning Thief, which I spent most of my time crying because I get emotional at other people's emotional events. Anyway, it gives me great pleasure that he can join us, that kind of circle can be completed, and that he can join us tonight, introducing the amazing Rob Rokicki. Okay, it's back to me live in the studio while Bartek and Rob figure that out. Yeah, I don't know what to do at this bit, really, because I had my thing queued up. I suppose I've sort of said it a bit, but it's worth saying again that all 9, well, actually only 8 of them have actually been put onto YouTube, but all of the videos from previous signals are available on YouTube, and they're recorded in ridiculous sound quality and 5 camera audio, 5 camera video, and they're pretty amazing. Anyway, I think things are being fixed. I don't know. It's weird because my feed is out of sync with yours by 15 seconds. I could say write things in the window, but no, I can't. So if anyone wants to WhatsApp me and tell me things that I should be saying, that would also be 15 seconds in the past. My temporal meter is very confused. Yeah. I just got a message from my friend saying I'd be a good DJ, and I have a podcast. If anyone of it too. There was a nod. I can't tell if that's good or a bad. It's weird because I would love to talk to the audience and vamp. I've gone silent now. Someone just said, I've gone silent. Okay, the audio went down. Don't know if you're even hearing this, but... Oh, I'm back. Well, if it's still on me, thanks Rakaya for pointing out that the audio went just as I was talking about Discord. Oh, I think we're moving on to Rob.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Is it working now? We're good? I think I hear me. Awesome. Great. So like I was saying, thank you, Adam, for having me. This song is written for this. I'm getting a weird feedback right now, which is really strange. I wonder how to avoid that. I'm going to turn off my microphone. All right, we're going to try this again. Anyway, so this is a new song just written for this. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to do this without my headphones on. Oh, all right. Here we go. The parameters of this song I gave myself is I just wanted to write a scale and I wanted to write a song about what we're going through right now. So that's what this is. Weird feedback. Wonder if I can get it off Skype. Well, here we go. Sometimes a hand can be heavy to lift when you ain't got the heart to reach out for a note. And sometimes you steal all your lines like a grift when the truth wants to sit like a lump in your throat. And it's one note after the other is how you build a song. One note after the other, the walls are solid, the roof is strong. One time a melody, beautiful, strange, came into my car, though no music was on. And I swear if I had me a paper and pen, but it went in my ear. And then it was gone. It seems one thing after another wants to break your song. One thing after another, the verses fail, the course is wrong. Sometimes a hand can be heavy to lift, but hoist up your arm just enough to extend. 'Cause someone once told me the weight is a gift, and it's lighter when it's in the hand of a friend. One note after the other is how we'll build our song. One note after the other, brick by brick, get us back where we belong. Well, that was interesting because I was hearing an echo of myself the entire time I was playing. I don't know if you guys did too, but I hope it worked. Yay! Yay!
It works really well. What a beautiful song. I think I'm back. I'm going to keep talking as if I'm back. Again, for those of you who don't know me, one of the things that I'm particularly interested in is musical theatre that plays against traditional ideas of what musicals sound like or look like or are about. So I kind of get grumpy when people say, oh, I don't like musicals because musicals are silly or fluffy or stupid. Musicals can be anything. They're just music and stories. So there's a particular interest I take in disruptive, strange, beautiful, weird, thoughtful. I don't just want musicals to be a good night out. I want them to rewire my brain, make me cry, make me think, all of those things. And the friends I make tend to agree with me on that idea. It's so we've been to the UK, we've been to Canada, we've been to Israel, we've been to New York City, and our tour continues. This has been entirely live so far. How could it be anything other? We couldn't have rehearsed this. But the internet in the writer where the writer next is just couldn't hold this for some reason. Too many people on the internet, too lower contention ratio, or too high contention ratio. Lower. Anyway, how do ratios work? So about an hour before we started, having been teching all afternoon, this writer recorded this video. So it's so nearly live, and it's a really new song. So representing Scotland in this global thing that we're up to, the incredible Finn Anderson, Bartek is gonna roll his video.
Hey folks, I'm Finn Anderson. I'm here in Glasgow recording a wee song for you. We tried our best to get this live feed to work, but sadly my internet is just not having any of it, and so we're resorting to video. It's about half an hour till start time, so I'm going to get this to you. This song is called Used to Say. It's from a musical called A Mother's Song, which I've recently been developing over in Chicago at the American Music Theatre Project. With my collaborator and co-creator Tanya Azevedo, who is watching tonight. This song centres around two of our leading characters, Sarah and Alex. They're a lesbian couple. They live in New York City. Sarah has recently uncovered a box of research that her Aunt Betty was doing into the ballad songs, the traditional folk songs which travelled down their family tree from Scotland through Ireland into Appalachia, where Sarah is from. Sarah has recently come across all of this research, and in this scene she has been feeling particularly down about the fact that she wasn't more interested in Betty's research and more invested in her relationship with her Aunt Betty who raised her. And when Alex enters the scene, Sarah is in this kind of place, and Alex is basically just trying to cheer her up, trying to be a good girlfriend. She's brought a drinks cabinet home and she's determined to have a party. So this is Alex's attempt to cheer Sarah up. It's a very fun tongue-in-cheek song, but we could all do with a smile right now. So this is Used to Say. It's a duet. I'll talk you through who's singing when. I'm not gonna harmonise with myself. It begins with Alex, who's just come home from work, trying to cheer Sarah up and make believing that they're in a bar and they have just met for the first time. Hey you, daydreamer, what is with the frown tonight? 'Cause I was thinking I might sweep you off your feet. Hey you, daydreamer, come on and let me hold you tight. 'Cause I'm alone here, walking down a one-way street. Am I too forward? This is so not like me. 'Cause you know how I used to say I don't believe in monogamy. Now all I want is to hold you. I used to say I don't believe in forever. Even that wouldn't be long enough to say I don't believe in the fairy tales. Well, I'd be a hypocrite. 'Cause just look what you've done to me. I'm a pathetic princess. Sarah's still refusing to lighten up. Alex gets out a karaoke set. Hey, you pretty singer, come pick up your microphone, 'cause I heard it's a great way to get things off your chest. Hey, you overthinker, don't leave me to sing alone, 'cause baby I need a partner, and I hear that you're the best. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Sarah joins in and they're harmonizing. Na 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 na. Hey. Now Alex is mocking Sarah, welcoming her up to the stand, saying it's your turn to do karaoke. Welcome the karaoke queen, Miss Appalachia herself. And Sarah sings, thank you everybody, it's an honor to be here. I'm dedicating this one to the love of my life. She drives me up the wall, but she's the one I want to call. If she wasn't anti-marriage, then I'd make her my wife. You're crazy and I hate you and I love you, and you know that I used to say I don't believe in monogamy. Now all I want is to hold you. I used to say I don't believe in forever. Even that wouldn't be long enough to say I don't believe in the fairy tales. Well, I'd be a hypocrite, 'cause I'm in one and I don't want it to end. Sarah has been won over, and Alex takes her up to bed. Cool, thank you so much for listening. Sorry I couldn't be with you there live, but enjoy your first signal online. Take care.
I am back. WhatsApp tells me. So thank you so much, Finn. Scotland done, and now back to New York. Well, back to Brooklyn, depending on how you divide up New York. The next writer, it's quite a cool story to how I met them. I was invited by, I think, a mixture of Adam Gwon and Kerrigan and Lowdermilk. I was in New York, I guess it was 5 years ago, and I was invited to this thing there called Song Space, which is a kind of co-working space for a cohort of writers. The writers can have offices and a conference room, and they have a writers group within that. And it was basically a huge donation of money enabled Song Space to start. And I was lucky enough to get invited along for a session. And there were all of these incredible writers in the group. Jason Robert Brown was there. And Georgia Stitt and John Bacchino and Pasek and Paul, and they were all singing songs. And I was standing next to this next composer. It was his first, I think, week in New York. And so I felt a little bit like embarrassed. Well, not embarrassed, but just like didn't know what to do. So just sort of like stood anxiously at the side of the room. And so did this next composer. And we got talking and we became friends. And I just had a feeling that this person might be a genius. And then over the coming years, I got to hear more of his music, and it turned out it was true. And as you know, from that first day in New York, just out of college, feeling this writer's now had a Drama Desk nominated, I think, show off Broadway called Midnight of the Never Get. And I'm really pleased to bring you a song from his new show. To tell you about it is Mark Sonnenblick. Hey, Mark.
Hey. I guess I'm on. My lag must be way behind because I can still hear Adam talking. But it's me. It's me now. Hey, how's it going? I'm Mark. That was such a nice introduction, Adam. Thank you. This has been amazing. So many people, music I've never heard before that I love so much. What a nice way to feel like you're part of a community. Speaking of community, I have 2 people on my floor. Isaac and Hector. It is way behind. I can hear. I'm going to turn YouTube off. Isaac is my boyfriend. Hector is my roommate. And they're both here to listen to me play. So this song is called Just Like Your Daddy. It's actually been cut. I wrote it for a show. It got cut, so I play it now because no one will be able to hear it otherwise. And it's a mother and daughter. They're in a car. The daughter's just bailed the mother out of jail. The mother's very drunk. But she's in a good mood. And they get to talking, and the daughter is complaining, like, I'm spending all my money on bail. I need to be paying tuition. I'm going to nursing school. And the mother's, like, not really paying attention. She's like, yeah, that's great. Sorry. Hey, you're smiling. Did I ever tell you who you remind me of when you smile? The mother says. And the daughter's like, no, stop changing the subject. But the mother's drunk, so she kind of goes off and sings this song. They're in Ohio. It's your eyes, I think. Something dancing in your eyes, I think that does it. And your chin, I guess. Or the laugh lines in your cheeks, or the way your lips go crooked, which was certainly his style. I kinda hate to say it, but you look just like your daddy when you smile. Well, daughter's still kind of annoyed, but the mom continues. No, it's your nose, I think. It's the way you scrunch your nose, I think, that does it. There's a hint of him spreading all across your face. I can see it clear as ever, though it's been a little while. Oh, I know you never knew him, but you look just like your daddy when you smile. Your daddy used to split a grin from ear to ear, talking up some new career, rattling off the things he'd one day do. Your daddy ran his mouth around the clock. Seems like all they did was talk and never follow through. That's just his way, I guess. You can never get a man to change his nature. Should've seen as much when he turned his back on Christ. He'd point fingers when he knew he only had himself to blame. Then he up and left his family, not a nickel to our name. Oh, of course I'm praying you do not become what he became. But you talk just like your daddy, and you smile just like your daddy. And I'm betting you'll turn out about the same. Nursing. Thanks, everyone. Stay healthy.
Okay, I'm back. That's how you get applause at the end of your song. You have an audience inside your apartment. I should have done more of that. That was really cool, and thank you so much to our audience for sticking with us through what is a slightly bumpy new process, but I'm having a lovely, lovely time. So we're at the end of our first set, which means at the end of this, we're going to put a card up which says there's going to be a 15-minute break. It gives us the chance to just load some new people into Skype and get some new audio feeds working. It's also an opportunity for you to do two things. One is you can tweet about the nice time you're having. Even if an audience don't watch it live, they can still use the link and play from wherever they want in the evening and go to songs. The other thing you can do is you can donate to alp.com/donate. And the third thing you can do is, I think that might be it. I think that's the third thing you can do. Anyway, I mentioned this next amazing gang earlier. They're some of the coolest people I've ever met. And at Beam 16 was when I first heard them perform and we became friends. So big up to Beam. As I said, like, Beam was a national showcase for new musicals that's been 2 years in the planning. There was one in 2016, one in 2018, and was going to be one today. We were meant to be on a main stage in Northampton tonight with a band. Also, big up to our house band. Big up to Tamara Saringer, our musical director in residence, and the incredible band that were going to join us. It's really sorry that you can't be here with us. But queuing you up for the last song, at Beam 16, I met this amazing group. We became friends. We started working together. They make some of the most beautiful and unpredictable and modern musical theatre I've ever heard. And it was them that I got to go to Sheridan College in Canada with last year. And we're going to go back next year. But anyway, they've been in isolation writing a brand new song from the show they're working on, Hoarding, and here to share it with you before we go on to an intermission is Nick Harvey. Hi, Nick.
How do I know if it's working? Who's going to tell me? Maybe WhatsApp. I'm on. Hey, okay, right. This is so weird. I've got WhatsApp on there with all the cues. I've got 17 different screens up on here. But I got my wine. My mum texts me saying, make sure your background doesn't look messy. Make sure you tidy your house. So I just put a little sheep soup sign up. There you go. Bit of branding. Get that in your head. Thanks, Adam. This is so cool and strange. And the clap, the NHS clap, just was mad. I just went out and experienced that, and that just filled me with a lot of joy. So I hope everyone else got a little piece of that too. This is a song from our new show Hoarding, as Adam said. The show is about Nell. She's a hoarder, and she's getting on a bit. She's got memories from the past, so a lot of the show goes into how the objects that she hoards are connected to stories from her past. And cool, everything's working. Connected to stories from her past, and this is a song that the ink is still very, very wet. It's on lots of random pages at the moment, and it's going to open the second half of the show. Doesn't really tell the story, isn't part of the narrative particularly, but it's a song that's sung by our lead character Nell, her uncle's band. When she was younger, she sang with her uncle's band and played guitar in her uncle's band, and he's called Uncle Charlie, and he was a bit of a maverick, bit of a visionary. He tried to make songs that were epic and massive, like somewhere between Wings, Spinal Tap, Tenacious D. That was the brief. Dramatic, lots of movements within each song. And even though all the band were playing were like social clubs and Butlins in Bridlington, places like that, so the rest of the band kind of had to play catch up with him, and we're kind of like, what is going on here? What are we? What music are we making? And what is our image? So this is a song about a voyage with a sea monster in it. It's got loads of different bits. I'm hoping to smooth the transitions between those bits. We'll see how it goes. But imagine loads more instruments. Uncle Charlie in his cave, amazing sort of all instruments around him. He's got a million different keyboards, and he just keeps whacking up the sound. He's got 10-part harmonies on every single bit, and the song eventually kills him in the scene. After the rehearsal, he just sort of overloads all the equipment too much and electrocutes himself to death. So that's what you've got to look forward to. This is called On Frozen Sea. across the water is a land of hope and plenty. A voyage of 100 days and nights. When I succeed, I'll send for you to join me there. My sweetheart, I travel in your light. Is it okay? Okay. I just got a little buzz. I'm going to turn that over. I think we're okay. Travel in your light. This navigation may be fraught with danger from the start, but I'll keep your letters in the pocket by my heart. Will you keep one thing for me, to burn me to your memory? Dream of me on frozen sea. Dear my love, day 82, singing shanties and reminiscing tales of you, blazing sunlight dancing in the blue. Our maps ever expanding as we sail for pastures new. Day 96, a gentle breeze, the crew so far are staving off disease. Although my lonely heart doth start to bleed for you, my love, sail we on in dreams of discovering new territories, climbing waves like mountains, sailing far and go. Set sail for great adventure, wherever winds may blow. Fate shall be our master, to the great unknown, and bring us home. Keep an eye on the horizon, to discover lands no one has ever seen. Keep an eye on the horizon. Lock it by your heart is where I'll be. But oh, what's this? A jagged mouth, rising from the deep to drag you south, feasting on your flesh as you cry out, man down, man down, drop the anchor, Captain, no! Hoist the sail! Row away, row away, row away, row away, heave ho! Row away, ho! Heave! Row away, row away, row away. Drop the anchor! I can swim! Hoist the sail! Row away, row away. Remember, remember me when I cross the frozen sea. Keep this jewel, it's my heart's key. Hold it tight and dream of me. Hold it tight and dream of me. Played all the characters there. Thanks very much. Back to you.
Just checking that I am back. I think I might be. I am back. So that is our 15-minute break. Thank you for being amazing, an amazing audience. I can see you commenting, and it's so much fun. So yeah, we've got a 15-minute break. We're going to put up a card saying returning shortly or something like that. I made it, but I've forgotten. And we will be back, I think, at about 5 past. So go do something fun, tweet a bit, donate a bit if you can at this difficult time. Support artist-driven new musical theatre. The global revolution is coming. Bonfire, etc. See you in 15. Bye. I'm back. Hi, everybody. Welcome to set 2 of Signal. I don't know about you, but I'm getting a very similar vibe to the one I normally get at Signal when it's in a room. So I do think, despite how weird and hard and unexpected this time is, like, something about like forcing ourselves to get on with it and do this event in the way that we're doing feels like it's working for me, and I hope it's working for you too. But it's really I feel happy to be here, and I'm really glad you all joined me. And just a humongous thank you to these incredible writers, because this is top drawer talent from the UK and from the rest of the world, and a lot of them spent far too much time this afternoon on a kind of crazy mixture of WhatsApp and Skype, and a bit of Zoom, trying to get everything figured out. And it's, we know that if in a couple of weeks' time we'd be able to run another one of these where things were even smoother, but we're glad we rushed to market, because we it seems to be working. So thank you to those writers. Thank you for bearing with us through these kind of slightly janky technical moments. When I first started being interested in directing musical theatre, before I really was aware of there being a new musical theatre scene in the UK, we're talking as long as 10, maybe even 12 years ago, the first show I ever directed was by an American writer who's coming up later, actually, so I won't spoil it. But was by an American writer, because I realized that if I wanted to find finished, beautiful new musicals by writers who really kind of great at their craft, then America was the place to look. But what's so interesting was that there's a kind of very invigorating form of chamber musical, of kind of art musical, of musical that kind of completely went off the main road and tried to aspire to find something different and beautiful and thought-provoking and moving, and just chimed with me. And so via that writer, I was introduced to some of his friends, and amongst them were the next writer. And so it feels like I've known them for, over a decade, which I have. And I've always said to them that I wanted to direct their shows in this country. That hasn't happened yet, but it damn well will. But in the meantime, it gives me great pleasure to introduce, for their first concert with me, the brilliant Brian Lowdermilk. Thanks, Brian.
Adam, can you give me a thumbs up if I am currently talking to you? Okay, cool. Hi, I'm Brian. I'm broadcasting to you from West Philadelphia, from our little queer commune. Hold up for 13 days now, so we're going strong. Coming to you from the white piano. I would have been glad to play you a Kerrigan Lowdermilk song, but I couldn't think of any Kerrigan Lowdermilk songs that weren't enormous bummers. So I decided to play one of mine instead. This is just a Brian Lowdermilk song. I wrote this, I actually wrote this, I think, right after the 2016 election over here, when I needed to cheer myself up. So this is a song called How We Start, and I hope it you up a little bit too. This is how we started. Are you coming with us? We are on a mission. Are you coming with us? I make you a promise. You give me a watch cry. This is how we started. You are all that matters. Open sky and bright light breaks through. Welcome home, you are the rescue. Hope won't be enough, my beauties. I'll keep on you, you keep on me. No one needs to freak out. This is how the world ends. This is how the world ends. No one needs to freak out. Hey! How is it the next years look just like the last years? This is how the world ends. We are all that matters. Open sky and bright light breaks through. Welcome home, you are our rescue. Hope won't be enough, my beauties. I'll keep on you, you keep on me. And it's always how we start. Yeah, 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 it's always how we start. Start with the ending. Start with the beginning. You are all that matters. Say it like a promise. Say it so they hear you. This is all that matters. You are the beginning. I got something in my throat. You are the beginning. You are the beginning. You are the beginning. This is how we start.
Whew. This is a lot. This is a lot for me. Thank you so much. The thought that Brian Lowdermilk just sang in my online concert is giving me a freak out. Yeah, so a few people have been commenting on the sound. We, as I said at the beginning, but those of you who are new to the stream, we have been thinking for a long time, well, this past week, about what communal activity and musical theatre feels like at the moment. And to me, it feels like really good sound. We tried options that had you know, synced sound and video like Zoom, like Skype, but man, do they compress and ruin their audio. So we've been working hard to try and make a solution that kind of creates the dynamic range of music, and I'm impressed with how it's going. So thank you to Bartek, and thank you to all of the technical guinea pigs we've had this whole week helping us out. It is, yeah, I think we're onto something. And what I would say is, if anyone wants help organising a live stream, we would love to, because we need money in this new era. So the thing I'd just love to just to flag next, as I've said a few times, this event was meant to be a live concert with a house band in Northampton as part of Beam Festival, which unfortunately has been cancelled. Beam 2020, which was going to showcase 41 of the most amazing and interesting new musicals, 41 musicals from the UK and Ireland. And I just want to let everybody who's watching know that tomorrow, Friday the 27th of March, if you're watching from the future, this has already happened, but between 12 and 2 p.m. GMT is going to be when all of those shows are going to be hitting Twitter in a big way to tell you about themselves. So look out for that. Look out for the Beam hashtag. I actually haven't got the hashtag in front of me, but when I get it, I will say it later. And one of the shows that was going to be there was a show that was my first show that my production company produced, which is Stages by Christian Chorney. We did a workshop production of it at Vault Festival a couple of weeks ago, and it was meant to be showcasing at Beam to try and get people to move to 2.0 to help us move it to 2.0. So look out for some videos and for some exclusive content from stages tomorrow afternoon. And if you want to create help us create the next stage of an interactive video game musical, then please do. And a huge shout out to Christian Journey, who is a technical wizard, and along with Bartek has been one of the foremost kind of people in helping us to figure all of this out. And he was on tech support all afternoon, so he was in our Skype and in our clean feed and figuring stuff out and helping people route their sound cards. All of this sounds like innuendo, but it is not. This is the correct terminology. Anyway, I'm making myself laugh. I hope I'm making some of you laugh. Anyway, thanks to Chris Chorney. Beam Day tomorrow. Thank you all for still being here. The next writer is someone who did Signal 1, did a humongous 12-minute number at Signal 1, a hugely ambitious visionary of a composer, and have not been able to figure out how to get him back to Signal. We've been talking about him doing the next one, and then the next one turned into Signal Online. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Dominic Powell.
Hello. Hi guys. I'm on. Hello. Hope you're all really, really well. So excited to be part of this. But really excited. I'm going to be singing a new song I've written completely fresh. When I got the news about Signal, I was really excited. I literally just started to write from the heart a song about freedom, really. We're all kind of quarantined, some by choice, some by forcing, and I wanted to write a song for anyone who's been quarantined before, whether it's relationships, whatever, about freedom, and hopefully just to inspire everyone that one day we will be free. So this is Words, and I hope you enjoy it, and yeah. You don't want me to move, you don't want me to say, you don't want me to breathe or live another day. You cancel my choice while you strangle my voice. No reason to hurt every season unheard. It's those same damn words. Say the same damn cause I can see a light and it's shining, it's burning bright, and it has my cooling. I've offered a try, I've let out a cry, but you will come by and help me out to dry. We sit and discuss, you promise to change, but the pattern re-emerges and I've lost again, cause I held those same damn words. Always believe you're same damn cause, but I am in a time to be deciding, unbroken and wild, no longer confiding. Cause if I'm over and beaten by the bucks, I'll say goodbye and put me first. I'll find the strength and worth, so you won't want me to move, you won't want me to say, I will be breathing in a new day. I'll handle my choice, I'll pamper my voice, control redefine, put all underlined, and the state of your sanctum. The fate of your sanctum will be reversed. I'll be in the sky. I'll be flying. I'll reach the light, and I'll be shining. Your words won't conquer my future. Or your words won't conquer my future. Your words won't conquer my future.
Am I back? I think so. I am. Thank you so much, Dominic. And I know Dominic was meant to have a production of his show Cases that was meant to play at the other Palace, which again, just another beautiful show that we don't get to see quite yet, but I'm so excited to see it when it gets back after the pause. And I'm hoping Dominic might share some of the music or demos from that with us so that we can keep that flame alive until the pause ends. Thanks so much, Dominic. I feel like I've properly gone into like Eurovision mode now, where it's like, and now back to this anyway, or news mode. I don't know where I am. I'm on my own in some noise cancelling headphones. So I just want to, for those of you who hadn't joined us yet and who are now joining us live, just say hello. I'm Adam Lenson. I'm a director and producer of primarily new music-driven theatre. I'd say new musicals, but not your grandma's musicals. Not to insult your grandma. P.S. I bet she's got cool taste in musicals. Anyway, if you want to find out a bit more about what I do, you can at alpmusicals.com, which sort of describes and has back videos from Signal and talks about our Amplify Fund, which is a fund for writers, which in lieu of tickets tonight, you fancy giving us a donation, you can do so at alpmusicals.com/donate. And has a bit about the writers groups that we run and all sorts of other initiatives and stuff that's going on and commissions that we're working on and etc. Anyway, and in addition to that, I've just set up thebonfire.uk, which is a kind of digital presence. Anyway, I'm really excited about the next song because it comes from someone I know as an actor and a supremely talented actor-musician. She can play a lot of instruments. I think I remember thinking it was like 6 or 7, but I think it's now more. I'm always picking up a new one. And she sang at a few of the Signals, and she was to be presenting a musical at Beam, and got in touch and said I would like to present a song at Signal, and I'm really excited that she can. So in the first song of a new show that she is writing, I will introduce you to... I will just say quickly before, she will probably say that this was the second of our internet challenges. Amir can tell you more about it, but her internet was not stable enough for live feed, so we are going to use a video, but we are going to go to her now in order to tell you about the song live. Enjoy. Hi, Amir.
Of writing a show, I was just working in Cardiff and reconnected with my old drama teacher from secondary school, who's also Welsh. We're both Welsh. And over a few cocktails, we decided we should write something together. And we wanted to write something about women and the women of our country. And very quickly it was going to be called Mam, which is how the Welsh referred to him. And this song, I didn't know it was going to have music in it for a start, but when Adam said he was going to move Signal online, and I hadn't been dreaming of performing at the Beam Signal event, I kind of thought, sod it, I've got a week, I'll write something. And I haven't written any music in a very long time, so please bear with me. But the story of this is the Welsh language is making a revival, very much so in Wales, but that wasn't massively the case like 20, 30 years ago. So my mum, my gran could speak fluent Welsh, but she wouldn't have it. She stopped. So my mum couldn't speak Welsh, and she has bits and bobs, but nothing fluent. And so this is basically about a generation that decided to cut out their heritage, cut out their language. And when you restrict words and you take away someone's ability to express themselves in their true form, what that does to you, whether you can actually speak from the heart, whether you can really know your own true feelings because you can't express them fully. And so within this, there's some bits of Welsh, which are mostly explained, but it opens with Cariad Caruti, which means dear heart, I love you. And there's a phrase, Dwi eisiau siarad Cymraeg, which is the title of the piece, which means I need to speak Welsh. So yeah, we filmed it. And so I'll just leave it to Bartek and Adam to show that to you. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy.
Cariad Caruti, she never said, though her tongue could taste the meaning. The words were etched within her head, but were caged, cracked and bleeding. Her man taught her the value, the cost in every word. The price you paid for using ones that never should be heard. A piece of her identity was boxed away maternally. The old Cymraeg robbed and denied, scratched out of Mama's mouth. When words are ghosts, how can you sing the language of forbidden kings? Because you should never cry, dwi eisiau siarad Cymraeg. The lies she swallowed as she grew, her mother tongue was not for speaking. In shame she shattered all she knew, freezing lungs and all true feeling. The language of the ancients, its blood now turned to ash, a mouth of metal in its place, so we erase the past. One generation's pride and guilt chose to destroy all that it's built, its tongue slit, root ripped out with the words of Mama's mouth. Such self-denial, it burns the flesh, leaves you a stranger to yourself, because you should never cry, dwi eisiau siarad Cymraeg. But can you hear them calling? The mountains, valleys of home, the land, it has a memory, its language carved in stone. It's patient and it's waiting, through pain it's found a voice. Dwi eisiau, I need to speak Cymraeg, my love, make your choice. Cariad Caruti, she's never said, but the word
Hey everyone. Thank you so much, Anne-Marie. Harp at Signal. That was really cool. And again, was, I think, recorded today, so the paint is fresh. A few people have been saying that in the chat. One of the things I say often about Signal is that I really love it to be a space where people can do work where the paint is still wet, and as a place to experiment. And I always say it's kind of a safe space. Even though now this is live streamed on the actual internet forever, but yeah. So from there to the first writer I ever worked with as a director. So many emotions that I get to do, and this writer gets to sing a song. So back when I was 21, longer ago than I like to admit, in the day MySpace still existed, sort of when internet felt a little bit like this in terms of the complications of it. I was on MySpace looking at new musical theatre in America, and I found a composer called Adam Gwon, and he had 4 tracks there that were still composers' demos at that point. I think they later moved to become demos spoken by sung by other actors. But I heard these 4 songs, and one of them was a song that maybe some of you have heard now called "I'll Be Here," one of the most beautiful standards in musical theatre. It's been sung by Audrey McDonald at this point. And so hearing that, I sent him an email because his email was on his website, and we got in touch, and I said, I love this show. Could you send me the whole thing? And it was so long ago that he actually posted me a CD and a script in the post because, Dropbox didn't exist yet and the cloud didn't exist yet and all of that stuff. So I still have the posted copy of the script and the CD that he had made and burnt. I fell in love with the show. I asked him if I could get a slot at a small theatre in London, if he would let me do it, and he did, and we did it at the Fimbra Theatre for its European premiere. And then it went on to play at the Trafalgar Studios in the West End. So, here's kind of my induction to working with composers and allowing me to realize how amazing it is to work with a composer when they actually are there and you can talk to them and email them and ask them questions and suggest little tweaks. Anyway, it gives me a great pleasure to be able to introduce you to, at Signal Live, the incredible, live from New York, Adam Gwon.
So old right now, but I did indeed have demos on MySpace, and that's how I met Adam Lenson. And I mailed him a script and a CD in the mail. It seems like so long ago, but 3 months ago seems so long ago at this strange moment. But I'm thrilled to be here. I wish you guys could see all the tech that was happening in the background to make this happen. I feel like I'm in Noises Off. There are like texts and dings and rings and chats and it's madness. And I would expect nothing less from Adam Lenson, the mad genius that he is. I'm going to sing a song from my newest musical. It's called Scotland, PA. The musical is called Scotland, PA. We got to premiere it off Broadway here at the end of last year. Adam Lenson happened to be in town and got to see it, which totally made my day. The musical is an adaptation of a cult indie film from about 20 years ago that the playwright Michael Mitnick brought my way and said, hey, I think this could be a really great musical. What do you think? And I watched it, and I happened to agree with him. So we embarked on the journey of starting to write the thing. The film is a dark comedy. It takes the plot of Shakespeare's Macbeth and sets it in a burger joint in rural Pennsylvania in the 1970s. So it's kind of a classic rock musical comedy Macbeth if you're gonna slap a few labels on it. The song that I'm gonna do is from the second act. So a lot of stuff has happened in the first act. There's this guy named Duncan who owns a little mom and pop burger restaurant called Duncan's. He gets killed. Two of his employees, Joe and Pat Macbeth, take over the restaurant and make it into their own restaurant, which of course they name Macbeth's. And at the very end of the first act, Detective Peg Macduff shows up to town to try to figure out what were the circumstances surrounding Duncan's death. And the first suspect that everyone sort of puts their finger on is Duncan's son, Malcolm. Duncan has this teenage son named Malcolm who did not get along with his dad at all. He was not treated very well by his dad at all. So he was a very sort of angry kid that we've seen. So in this scene, Detective Macduff has gone to visit Malcolm at his high school football practice, American football. And she's trying to get him to answer questions about where he was the night of his father's death. He's very sort of shut down, doesn't want to talk. And finally, she gets him to open up about football because he seems to like playing it a lot. And so he sings this song called Why I Love Football. When I play football, I don't feel bad. Don't think about homework or cops or my dad. There's only cheerleaders, sunshine, and sweat. It's the closest to heaven I get. Win or lose, it's all the same. I keep my head in the game, but that's not why. Not why I love football. Jason's the captain, but Danny's the best. Paul crushes Miller, light cans on his chest. Russell does push-ups and Jake's getting laid. And me, I have never played. I just sit, I don't care. They undress and I stare. And that is why I love football. Me and Russell go to the movies sometimes. Russell's blonde and he likes to cuss. Me and Russell talk about going someplace where I'm off the bench and we can be us, and that's why, that is why I love football. Russell keeps telling me I am the one. We're skipping town soon as high school is done. Till then we get high and I hold him real tight. And that's where I was that night. Hooking up behind the gym. Went all night, just ask him. But I'd appreciate it if you took my word for it. That's why I love football. Thanks so much, everyone.
I think I'm about to be back. I probably am back. You know, I'll watch back the video. I'm back. Bartik tells me. I'm looking forward to watching back the YouTube stream and kind of like critiquing it and figuring this craziness out. But once again, thank you all for being here. And that was really cool, Adam Gwon. And yes, bravo. So another New York story to introduce our next artist. I've told this at Signal before, but it now links like 4 of the writers that you're seeing tonight together. So, as said earlier, Adam, Gwon, and Kerrigan and Lowdermilk invited me to Songspace. At Songspace, I met first week in New York, Mark Sonnenblick. Mark Sonnenblick told me about the Musical Theatre Factory and said that they held regular open mic nights and that I should go. And that he was going to perform a song there and he knew some people there. So I went to the open mic night with Mark Sonnenblick, I guess, again, about 5 or 6 years ago now, I guess. And listening to people, there was a bowl, people put their songs into the bowl, and then when they got picked out, they played them in that order. And Mark played one of his, and then the next performer sang one of hers. And I realised quite quickly that she was from London, and then it turned out that she's from High Barnet, which is where I'm from. And so that singer is, of course, Emily Rose Simons. She then moved back to England and has done a bunch of signals and lives like 5 minutes away from me. But the other part 2 of that story is after the open mic night, when it finished at about midnight, because things finish late in New York because it is the city that never sleeps when it comes to musical theatre. We went to a restaurant which I can no longer remember the name of, but which Emily will know the name of and can tell you when she starts. And it was a place in Midtown where you got a free beer. No, when you bought a beer, you got a free hot dog. She then moved back to England and has done a bunch of signals and... something just weird happened with my hearing, but it's back again. Anyway, so I went to this place, had some beers, had some free hot dogs, and then got food poisoning the next day because turns out free hot dogs, maybe steer clear of them. Anyway, that was a long story, but it links Kerrigan and Lowdermilk, Adam Gwon, Mark Sonnenblick, and our next artist, introducing you to, live from Golders Green in North London, Emily Rose Simons.
One. Hello. Yes, I am on now. Hello, everyone. Oh, Adam. Rudy's should never be called a restaurant. It's just above getting a beer from a gutter. I'm not surprised, but yes, that was the night we met. And also, it's so nice that you say that I was performing. And I was performing, but where we actually met was that I was the adorable little volunteer tearing tickets. Because I was making my way in the world. It was very, very cute. Okay, so this musical theatre, yes. So this musical is called The Repatriate. It's about a strong, independent tech woman working in the tech world, and everything's going great, and then her entire life blows up, and then she suddenly finds herself in High Barnet in her family home, and she can't get out of bed. So this song is from the dad, and he has been sent up to say something encouraging to his grown-up adult woman daughter, who has been in bed for an unbelievable amount of weeks, and he's been sent up to say something, but the problem is that he's English, so I don't know what he's meant to say, really. If you can imagine, I know that I'm singing it, but if you can imagine, for the English people, the dad from Friday Night Dinner singing this, or if you are American, then imagine a very awkward John Oliver, like John Oliver, but even more awkward, and cross him over with an even more awkward Jon Stewart, and I think you've got who I'm meant to be tonight. So this is from The Repatriate, and it's called Get On With It. Life, funny thing, isn't it? With its ups and downs and not good days and twists and turns and curious ways, and we build and manufacture our roads
in directions we think we're about to go, but before we know it all explodes, and then somehow get on with it. Careers, funny things, aren't they? Oddly fueled by youthful dream that decades on will make you scream, and it hurts in a way you can't believe. It's hard to stand if you've lost your pride, so you have to hide to grieve, but then somehow get on with it. I detach my brain from my limbs and somehow get the job done. Not everything has to be thought through. You won't find meaning until you're further from just bigger. Daughters, funny bunch, aren't you? With your ups and downs and your moody days, and your screaming and bleeding in curious ways, and I try to understand your mind. Teenage girls go out and drink, but teenage girls go out and drink, but you sit home and think. Teenage girls look forward to weekends, but you didn't have friends. Adult life should be said and clear, but yours was strange and far from here, with accolades extraordinary but undefined. So coming home has made you unhappy, more than that first time I tried to change your nappy. But somehow got on with it. I just got on with it, and somehow you'll get on with it.
Thanks, Emily. Okay, thanks, Emily. That was beautiful, and yeah, I suppose we do have to get on with it to an extent, because it doesn't look like this is going to change this week or next week. But yeah, oh my goodness, it's nearly the end. Well, we've got 2 more songs, which means just to say some thank yous. Thank you to you for coming. A huge thank you. I've said his name a lot, but Bartek Podkova at Seven Hills Films. He is the best theatre videographer I know. He's a musician and a great videographer. And when we're back and out into the point that we can film and archive shows, you should know him. In this era where you need to create live broadcast with 3 days notice, then you should also know him. It's so to thank him, thank Chris Chorney, thank Beam, which, you know, I love Beam. I love being with my community of musical theatre artists. I love being with people who care about this form and subvert it and break it, but they break it because they know the rules. I mean, something that you will always know that I talk about at Signal is this idea of people who say that they hate musicals, because I just don't get what that means. You can hate the musicals you've seen. You can hate the musicals you listened to when you were a kid. But you can't hate musicals, because musicals are just stories and music, and they can just be so many different things. And the goal I always set myself with Signal is that it would be so many different things. The reason that it was called Signal, for those of you who've never heard this before, is because of signal to noise ratio. The idea of trying to make the quality higher, upping the signal and discarding the noise. And and the idea of being, you may not like every song, but you would appreciate the quality of every song. You'd appreciate the artistry of the artists involved, and the talent, and the kind of the variation of the styles that they work within, and their care and affection for music and storytelling and theatre. And tonight has been as much that as Signal ever is, in terms of the range of artistry. So thank you, and I would say that it's funny that we picked the name Signal all those years ago. Well, all those years ago, 2 years ago. Well, I mean 3-4 years ago. Actually, it's been going on in my brain. But because we've talked a lot about Signal, and this week in terms of signal corruption and signals breaking down and streams and the internet, and it's sort of taken on a new resonance in this moment. But yeah, we worked hard to try and. Well, we worked hard because I needed to feel hope. I needed to feel some belief in musical theatre. I mean, one of the things I'll often do at Signal is I will bemoan the fact that people don't care about new musicals, because they'll just still go and see the same stuff that's been running for 30 years. Cats, Les Mis, Mamma Mia. And as much as anything, I also want this to be a platform for artists to do what they want. One of the things I said to artists taking part in this concert is, you don't have to write a song about Corona. You don't have to write a song about how you feel right now. You can if you want. But also you can just write your next song from your musical that you love and you want to do. And I've been so inspired that so many of the artists tonight have chosen to do, just carry on, write a new song from their show so that the world could hear it, so that we could get excited about artist-driven new musicals. And it's never been a more exciting time to care about musical theatre. It's never been a more exciting time to be part of this community, a global community such as it is. And what's weird is it's been global to me for a decade. I've been able to know people in other countries, but like it's always from a distance. And I always remember thinking to myself, God, if there would be this one amazing moment that maybe I could start to put people from around the world into curate them into one night, and we could fly them all in and do this big thing. And of course, we haven't got to that level yet, but as I said, one of the sadnesses of this moment could be converted into happiness by getting to bring all of these people in a virtual room. I've got to be with them all day on Skype, and you've got to be with them tonight, so thank you. And yes, thank you for everyone in the audience and all you do, and everyone here and all you do. This next artist I met at Beam 16 4 years ago. We know that it was 4 years ago. I remember like cramming into Park 200 in Finsbury Park for the showcase of the musical that you're about to hear a new song from. And I just remember thinking it was glorious and beautiful and intelligent and weird and new, but also old. And I'm really pleased that he could be here tonight to tell you all about it. Here is Eamonn O'Dwyer. Thanks, Eamonn.
How about now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Yeah? Okay. Yes? Yeah, good. Hello, everyone. How are we all doing? I think this is honestly the most insane and beautiful thing that I've been a part of. So I'm really happy to be here, and I'm really happy that you're all there with us. Huge thanks to Adam and Bartek. I know that will be said a lot tonight, but it's incredible. Adam's talked a lot about the pause this evening, which is rather beautiful. And I think we should hang on to that and think about that's what this is. It's the pause. This is a song from my show, Fanny and Stella, that I am writing, that I'm still writing, with the beautiful Sevan, who is watching from New York, I think. Hello, Sevan. And Fanny and Stella, as you may know, were two female impersonators in London in the 1860s and 70s. They were put on trial and they were acquitted. And this is a new song called Respectable Life, in which Fanny, or Freddie, and her brother Harry are discussing the life that they think their father would want for them. Freddie is trying to live her life as Fanny Park. Harry Park is in prison. He was also gay, and he was in prison for indecent behaviour. And their father, Judge Park, was a very upstanding man. And this is a little duet that they sing, just thinking about the life that they think he would like for them. It is a duet. I'll be sort of singing both parts. There's a harmony bit in the middle, but I might go away with it. Put my phone down. This is Respectable Life. Thanks. A house in Chalk Farm, a pretty young wife, 3 fat little babies, a respectable life. We'd have dinner at 6, invite guests if we can. The respectable life of a respectable man. A job at the bank, or something in law, or inkwells and ledgers. Jesus Christ, what a bore. We'd have drinks at the club, but then back home by 10. The respectable life of such respectable men. Sundays at church, giving thanks unto God. You greet all your neighbours with the same friendly nod, but not one person there really knows who you are. That's respectable life. Respectable life. So where is the colour? Where is the light and the heat? Where is the passion? Where is the romance, the bitter, the sweet? How can your heart ever more than just beat? Respectable life is just one more name for deceit. A house in Chalk Farm, a handsome young swain, his head on your pillow, joy I cannot contain. We could walk in the park, feeling fearless and free. Respectable life, respectable life is not for you or for me. Thanks, everyone. Good night.
So I'm probably coming back any minute. I'm up. So one more song left. Normally at Signal, what happens is it finishes and then we all go to the bar and we all have a chat with each other, and it's mad and lovely and kind of a bit like a weird musical theatre birthday party. We can't do that now. But like talk to one another, keep talking in the chat, and I suddenly just thought, oh, it would be cool if we could all just suddenly jump into some sort of massive group chat. But if like 200 people did, it would be a lot. But yeah, I just want to once again, sorry for those who are playing the drinking game at home, but just ask you to subscribe to either the mailing list at ALP Musicals or the bonfire.uk. I've introduced this new thing called Kindling, which is like a nearly daily kind of drop of demos and videos and releases, and hopefully something to look forward to every day or two. In addition to that, we're going to get the videos out of this. We're going to leave this whole feed up so you can scan through it at your leisure. But we're also going to get the videos out of this and optimize them and put them onto the bonfire.uk as well, so that people can just appreciate these beautiful songs done within the pause, within this new era, within this strange moment, and within those circumstances. Thank you again to the writers who've done that. We'll be dropping the videos from Signal 8 and Signal 9 that were from December and February very soon, which includes some amazing new songs. What I would ask again, if anyone is not in dire circumstances and has a day job and has an income and feels able to support this project and support writers, you can do so at alpmusicals.com/donate. Even if you're watching this from the future, that page will still be there, and you're still very willing to support writers to make artist-driven content that burns as brightly as they do, that and give them the time, space, and money to do that without having to worry about all of the other things that we normally have to worry about. So this last pair, I just want to take a moment for the fact that this pair have been making an extraordinary and beautiful musical for somewhere in the last 7 to 10 years called The Wicker Husband. It was a show that I always adored seeing move from lab to workshop, lab to workshop to event, and it was just such it was the show that deserved to be on and to join the long runners. It was the show that kind of led our whole community in a way as a show that we could believe in and be inspired by and care about. And the show went to NAMT and, you know, flew the UK flag in New York. And then last month was in rehearsals at the Watermill, where it opened, did its press night, and then had to close because all theatres closed. So it did get to its press night where it got extraordinary 5-star reviews. But like, I just want to just put out there to this community just how loved that show is, how loved Darren and Rhys are, and how I will do everything in my power to make sure that that show rolls on again after the pause. And yeah, it's a show that I can't wait to be at the theatre with you all watching. But as two brilliant people often do, they have carried it on, and I've started to think about what other work they can make. And one of those projects, proudly, is the first show that I, as a producer through ALP, have commissioned. So a full commission that is happening throughout this year of their musical about Alan Turing, the British mathematician and code breaker. And it has been a lot of the previous signals, and you can see lots of videos from Turing there. I often put Darren at the end because he has a habit of writing existential songs that kind of help me understand the meaning of life a little bit, and also because signal to noise ratio is a kind of, well, scientific term, and I originally studied science, so I've always been interested in trying to find an overlap between science and art, and hopefully that's exactly what we're doing with Turing, and that's exactly what we're doing tonight on this news feed, a mad mixture of tech and nerd and science and art. So it gives me great pleasure to take you to Darren's house, where he's going to tell you about their brand new song from Turing. Thanks, Darren.
Hello? Am I live? Can people hear me? Bartek, can you give me a thumbs up if people... Yay, hooray! Look, here's the Wicker husband. It's the Wicker husband. It opened last week and it closed last week. And people were involved in it. And it's been a pure joy working on it. But I just thought I'd give a shout out to this thing. Do come and see it when it comes back, because it's coming back one day, I'm sure. Anyway, my wonderful collaborator Rhys couldn't be here, or he's somewhere in the internet, and so he sent a little message for me to read to you. I'm not entirely sure he meant me to read it to you, but he said to me, this is what I should do tonight. He said, just don't babble on too much. You think you sound clever, but you don't. You sound like an idiot. So that's nice. That's from Rhys. Eamonn said it earlier, but this crazy mad thing that has occurred this evening could never have occurred without the wonders of Mr. Adam Lenson and the wonders of Mr. Bartek and also Christian Chornwy. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm sorry, Christian. He really helped me with my audio today. So it's your own fault if you heard your name pronounced wrong, because you're the whole reason that anyone can hear me. They deserve a massive round of applause. Perhaps not potentially as loud as the round of applause we gave the NHS earlier, but still massive. So do, if you are sitting at your home right now, give them a round of applause. And also to the wonderful people who've performed tonight. Privileged to know most of them in some capacity, have gotten drunk with a bunch of them, have stayed on some of their flat floors, have performed in shows with some, have had some perform my shows, and it's been a real privilege watching them all tonight, and it's a real privilege to be here again, and to do a new song from Turing. So I'll get on with it. So this song is actually me and Rhys have been writing this show about Alan Turing, who is sort of openly homosexual at a time when it was very dangerous to be so, and also was one of the great mathematicians of our time. In particular, that he basically invented the computer. So he's kind of the reason why we're all here today, and why we're able to share this crazy event. So thank you for that, Mr. Turing, wherever you are. And this song is sung by his childhood friend Christopher Morecambe, who died when he was 16 of bovine tuberculosis. He wasn't around for the rest of Alan's life, but he remained a huge inspiration. And in our show, he remains a kind of Judas figure, like in Jesus Christ Superstar. He's always there, he's commenting, he's watching. And Alan Turing had a habit of eating apples, and he loved apples, and he would eat them every night. He would have one every night before he went to bed. This particular song happens when he's in his rooms in Cambridge, and it's the very first time he has sex with a man. And Christopher, who's obviously a ghost at this point, is watching the two of them have sex. And Rhys doesn't know this, but I imagine that the conversation that they've had just leading up to having sex is something about Newton and something about the apple falling from the tree. It's about gravity. It's about what pulls us all together, which I hope is apt for tonight. It's the things which can't keep us away from each other, the things that can't keep us apart. There are certain things that just pull everyone together. I hope music is one of those things. So it just remains to say thank you, and here we go. I hope this works right. Hope you can hear that. Let me know if not. I'm adding some synthesizer in here live, just so you know. your bedside, an apple with his ruby skin, a symbol of knowledge and original sin, the beauty of the forbidden. The apple tree is waiting in the orchard of this midnight bed. The hiss of the serpent, the skin has been shed. He will lead, I know you long to be misled. It's like gravity, quantum gravity, bodies in motion, bodies compelled to pull towards each other's gravity, quantum gravity, the laws of attraction, living within a soul. You can't help but fall to gravity. Falling from these branches in a lesson that cannot be taught. I cannot catch you, you cannot be caught. The body moves, this is no place for higher thought. Oh, is this your intention? Shatter on this moonlit floor, to shatter the world, to shake to its core. Will there be the sure-born boy you were before? This is gravity, simple gravity, bodies in motion, bodies compelled to pull towards each other's gravity, fatal gravity, the laws of attraction, living within a soul. You can't help but fall to gravity. An apple by your bedside. That's it. Hope that worked. Good night, everybody. Everybody.
Am I back, Bartek? Tell me when I'm back. I'm up. Thank you. That was Signal Online. Thank you all for being here. Just big thank you for everyone. I had some ideas. A friend texted me saying I should set up a Zoom after party, so I'm going to. In fact, post it in the comments now. There that goes. Ooh, maybe it's taking a while, but I'll put it in the comments. And then, so maybe see you in there if you're watching in present tense. And tonight's given me a lot of hope in the new musical. And yeah, the bonfire is bright even when we're online. So thank you all for being a huge part of it and for watching tonight. And my plan is we'll do another one of these in 2 weeks because I don't know. I have to say that because maybe I'll do it if I do. So 2 weeks tonight, Thursday, whatever that is, we'll do another one if Bartek lets me. If you donate enough money, we might be able to make sure that he does let me. So see you 2 weeks tonight. Hopefully I'll let you know online if plans change, but why the hell not? Let's bring some people in from around the world and let's inspire ourselves and others with musical theatre. This is me signing off. I'll see you in the Zoom if you choose to be there. Otherwise, at Adam Lenson at ALP Musicals. Find me on social media. Lots of love to you all during this crazy time. See you soon. Bye bye.